Studies show that wintertime can be a downtime, so we've decided to pop on here and bring you 3 ways to increase your happiness. Hey, we're Brit and Chris Carmichael, and you're listening to the Elevated Life Podcast. Throughout the 13 years we've been together, we've never ceased in our endless quest to better ourselves.
We've studied top experts, philosophers, and gurus. After years of personal self-experimentation, we found the tools for shifting your beliefs, moving through fears, and developing a positive mindset.
If you're ready for a breakthrough, then you're in the right place, because we're here to empower you to take control of your life with simple mindset shifts that create radical transformation.
We'll be diving into topics like personal growth, health, philosophy, spirituality, relationships, success, and mindfulness.
So create some space for yourself and get comfy. It's time to become the badass you were born to be. I don't know about you, but when the sun's going down at like 5 p.m., it's kind of a different vibe than the summer. And for me, it can create a lot of introspective, inward, kind of like solemn kind of feelings. Am I alone in this?
No, I think that I love the way the seasons work, because it forces us to do something that's different. It can't be summer all the time. If it were summer all the time, we'd eventually get burnt out. And just like it can't be winter all the time. But I love these moments of introspection. I love these moments where I'm considering, what do I want to be doing with my life? What's been working for me? What's not working for me? What's bringing me more joy? Where I've been skimping it all in the 7 or above rule, and really starting to ask those questions so that when it comes springtime, I'm not bringing the same things into my life that I had was going on before that I didn't like so much. And so it's so great that we have the time, that we're not trying to go out as much, that we're not trying to work as hard, because it is dark. And when it is dark, we do realize that maybe we need a rest. Maybe there does need to be a dormant period. I mean, nature uses it, and it seems to work out for nature, and we're a part of nature, so why not just go along with that?
Gotta go with the flow. So let's talk about the first thing that you can do to increase your happiness. And that's actually to stop doing things you hate. I know that sounds simple, but you'd be surprised to know how many people do things that they don't love. And we only learn this through our 7 or above rule and asking people to rate in their life the things that they're doing on a 7 or above scale. And so many people were doing things at a 3, a 4, less than a 7.
Yeah, and this is the greatest inventory question that I think you can actually ask yourself. And so it's important to do it right now. Where's your relationship? Where's your work life? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Is it bringing you the same kind of joy as it did at one point? And if it's not, make a decision right now to where you're saying that I'm either going to work on it to move it forward so that it is a 7 or above for me, or I'm going to begin to scrap it. And what does my future look like once I do that? Now is the time to dial that in.
So tune in. Is there anything that comes to mind right now? The first thing that pops up. Are you doing something that you don't love, that you hate, that doesn't bring you joy? Are you doing something out of obligation? What's that thing that comes to mind? Give yourself permission to stop, and you'll instantly increase your happiness.
All right, so the second thing is stop trying to change people. I know that this can be hard, and especially when we see that other people are just kind of floundering around. We're like, man, if you would just do this, it'd be so much easier for you. But that is not our job. Unless they're paying you, then it is your job. Then you definitely need to try and change them and help them do what it is that they need to do. But what we want to do instead is we want to inspire people. We want to inspire people to positive action, not change them. Let people be who they're going to be, because they're going to be that anyways. Whether it's your spouse, whether it's your kid, whether it's your mama, it doesn't matter. They're going to be them. The only thing that our job is to do is to live by example. This is one of the greatest ways to bring about real change, is because when the other person sees that it works for you, or they see that it makes you happy, it's so much easier for them to go, well, I wonder if I could apply that in my life. Maybe I can do that too. And so instead of trying to change them, you want to think about, what can I do in this moment right now that would inspire them?
Do you know how frustrating it is when you see people that you love doing things that are
Dumb shit.
Yeah. Let's just be real. Just dumb shit. And you want so bad to change them, and you tell them the this and the that. And it would be so easy if you could just do the things and blah, blah, blah. Do you know how many people spend energy in that situation trying to change other people that don't want to be changed, that won't listen, that don't care, that can't hear you?
Most.
It sucks.
It's most people. And it's hard to do it, especially if you do this for a living, like we do. If you do coaching or you do teaching or anything like that, you're just kicking ass in your own life. And you're like, man, if people just get on this train with me, it'd be so much easier for them. But you can't. You can't get in there because it's so much more important to just be in your own lane. It's so much more important just to focus on what it is that's working in your life. That will automatically begin to help other people change. The best opportunities that we have to get people to do things is by doing it ourselves. To being honest with ourselves, to taking our dreams and our inspirations seriously, and to continuously work on those. People will take notice. It may not be obvious at first, but they will take notice, and it will begin to help them. Just lead by example.
And you focus your energy in the right place, changing and controlling only yourself, because that's the only thing we are in control of.
Because you know what doesn't bring you happiness? Frustration. Because you are going to be frustrated at somebody who you're constantly telling the right answer to, and they're just not doing it over and over and over again. You're like, I have been telling you every time we're together, what are you doing? And instead of that, you're like, they're just going to be them. And I'm going to have to love them from the place that they're at. A lot of times, even if you have the answer, it doesn't mean you can do the work. You ever look at the back of the math book and be like, hey, there's the answer right there. But there's no work. So you don't know how to get to it. A lot of times for people, they're on their own journey. And so they have to discover what the work is, even if you already have told them the answer.
Oof. I need to sit with that for a second.
Nailed it.
Dude.
It's true. It's so
good.
true.
That was good. All right. I'm going to take a moment to process.
Nah, let's go with number 3.
All right. Number 3, stop comparing yourself to other people. This brings so many women that I coach unhappiness because they're scrolling the gram and they're going, well, I don't have this or I don't have that. But they don't realize the work, time, effort, and circumstances that they went through to get the thing that they're gramming about. And maybe that's not what you want to be spending your time doing. So you're really wasting your time comparing your life to somebody else's blueprint that you don't even want to live. What comparison shows me is that you want more for yourself. And that means that there's work to do internally, not sit on the gram and scroll through and go, oh, I wish I had what they have. I'll never have that.
So maybe just as important is to stop placing your happiness in external things, because external circumstances are always going to change. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be bright days. There's going to be dark days. Some days you're going to be heavier. Some days you're going to be lighter. Some days you're going to feel prettier. Some days you're not. It doesn't really matter. If all of your happiness is derived from external circumstances, you will never be happy. If you begin to enjoy the small things in life, if you begin to enjoy the journey instead, and you find this ability to be okay with where you're at, or to even be able to enjoy with where you're at, even though maybe you're working towards something else, and that really is talking about living in the present moment, that is where you begin to find the happiness. If you start to rely on anything besides that, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a long road. And it's going to be hard for you to find it. Instead, if you can just find the joy right here, right in this moment, if you can be happy with just being alive, you can find happiness every single day of your life.
I know. The real cheat answer to this topic would be gratitude. You want more happiness? Be grateful.
Always. I feel like gratitude is the answer a lot of times.
It's like you can't be mad and grateful at the same time.
I love that. Okay, that's one of the super secrets about life, is that it's very difficult to hold two counteractive thoughts or emotions at the same time. And so to be unhappy and to be grateful doesn't happen. To be anxious and relaxed doesn't happen. And so if you know that, what you can begin to do is begin to figure out, where am I going to focus my thoughts right now? And if your thoughts are down in the dumps, what are you focused on? Are you only focused on the problem? Are you focused on the solution? Are you in the present moment? Ask yourself these questions and realize that you can change that emotional caliber immediately. You can automatically begin to feel better immediately. And it's just a decision on, where have I been putting my attention? Where have I been putting my effort? And bringing it back home and simplifying it and say, I'm just happy I'm alive. I'm happy I'm even here right now. It's totally different.
Okay, so here's the quote for today. Gratitude is the gateway drug for happiness.
Ooh, I love it.
I know, it just came to me.
I love it.
So good. So here's how you can instantly increase your happiness. Number 1, stop doing things you hate. Seems like an obvious one, but we're just here to remind you in case.
Number 2, stop trying to change people.
And number 3, stop comparing or putting your value in external things.
Boom.
Boom.
It's so simple, but it doesn't matter what you know. It matters what you do. And so what ends up happening is a lot of us know these things. Internal will be like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Fantastic. Are you doing it though? Look into your life. Use this down winter time to peer deep into your life and say, am I doing these things? Am I having all these thoughts that are just making me unhappy? Because most of the stuff are just thoughts. Comparing yourself to another person is a thought. Trying to change a person and being frustrated with where they are is another thought. And so once you can get out from doing that, you can begin to see how it's your thoughts making you happy or not. And so to realize that you get to control those. This is 100% under your power.
You know, our tagline for Elevated Life is simple mindset shifts to create radical transformation. I feel like every time we share one of these episodes, it confirms it doesn't have to be hard to make a massive change or a transformation in your life.
And I think discovering that about yourself and discovering how powerful your thoughts are and what they can do to you makes you really realize that you are the master of all this. You can take the responsibility to decide what it is that you want to think about or not think about. And really, sometimes the thoughts just pop up anyways. They're going to come up. You see someone, you go, oh my gosh, I wish I could have what they had. But that is just a thought. And if it comes up, all you have to do is say, okay, that came up. Next thing. Next. That's what I love doing. I love the phrase next. Because it always takes me away from whatever it is that I'm not interested in and brings me more in alignment with what will actually nurture my soul.
What is it, like swiping right on Tinder or something?
Next.
Well, we'll let you get to the next episode because I think you guys have realized that happiness is a choice. And you get to decide if you want to see the glass half full or half empty. Until next time, we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the Elevated Life podcast. Want more? Join us at theelevatedlifeclub.com for mindset upgrades, lifestyle hacks, and spiritual tools to elevate your soul.
Each month features a new masterclass, meditation, yoga practice, and more to help you transform your life one step at a time.
Come join the 7 or Above Club.